douchebag, you know, and all this stupid crap about a blogger who I know personally, that posted 3 fucking paragraphs that was ultimately fair and unbiased toward the A+ movement, simply pointing out certain shit within that movement. And I'm just like, alright, point one line, point to me one fucking line in that was unfair or fucking pseudo-intellectual. Like, just one fucking line. And he couldn't. And then he'd backpedal constantly. I'm like, I see what you're fucking doing, Ballas. Attention whoring through throwing somebody under the bus is bullshit. Stop it. You are not fucking intelligent. You are fucking annoying half the goddamn time. And you need to fucking stop it. Like, seriously, just stop. Oh, that pissed me off.
Okay.
Not a good idea.
Alright, Michael's trying to say something.
No.
Michael's trying to say something.
Eden, are you sure this doesn't have anything to do with him hitting on you?
No issue with anybody hitting on me, like, whatsoever. Like, I mean, Pal sits on me all the time. I'm fine with it. It's just...
Well, it's more than hitting on you. He's telling you exactly what he would do to you.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, he gets graphic.
Dude, I walked down to the store today and I had my ass slapped twice. I give no shits. Like, I don't have a fuck to give. I really don't. Like, if I wanted to be... If I wanted to be not, like... If I didn't... How do I even go about saying this? If I had an issue with being objectified in any way...
You would have a shirt on Blog TV.
Well, that too. But, I mean, I just don't care. I don't find the human body or sexuality anything to be fucking ashamed of. And if somebody's sexually attracted to another person, I don't see any issues in hiding that, you know? I mean,
Well,
there's no point.
So this is literally about the A+ shit, then.
This is literally about him being disingenuous. I don't mind if he has an alternate opinion. I don't mind if he's wrong in his alternate opinion, but when he starts to misrepresent certain things, then I take issue with it. I take complete and total fucking issue. You know, like, if I were to disagree with someone and then I misrepresented their fucking platform, I don't care if I'm right on that. I'm now an asshole. You know?
Eden, as long as it's about this A+ shit, I respect your position. Because if it is about him hitting on you, you're the one with the fucking Skype icon that reminds me of Team fucking Edward, okay?
Edward.
Oh,
You
God, I
didn't
do
know
not
that?
sparkle.
You don't sparkle?
I don't,
Prove
no,
it.
No, I'm iridescent. I'm iridescent, my friend. There's a difference. I glow in the dark. I do not sparkle.
Alright, let's see.
Okay, guys,
Yeah.
for the record, he said he will take questions.
Who?
Sting.
Yeah,
Oh.
Alright.
yeah, he said he will take questions.
What do
Who
you
would
think?
win in a fist fight, Obama or Romney?
That would be interesting.
Abraham fucking Lincoln.
That's only because he has
No,
reach.
duh.
Okay, fine.
He was
Who
a wrestler.
would win in a fist fight, Obama or Romney?
Oh, fuck that. Who would win in a fist fight, Michael or Beach?
Hold on.
Fuck that. I would
Obama or Romney? Fuck that, I'd knock them both out. Nobody'd win.
Between
I'm gonna
Michael
fight
and
Romney.
Beach.
Ron Paul. He's fucking wily.
He's wily.
Between Michael, I'm serious. I want to know who would win in a fight.
Ron Paul's like
Michael
Eric Eyes
and
and shit. That's what I
There-
imagine.
Guys hear him?
There are only a few videos here on YouTube that actually show me compared to somebody else. And I really don't know how big Beach is. I know, you know, proportionally how big he is. But I really don't know how big he is. But I do know that there's video of me standing next to the Barking Atheist. And you guys can see basically how big I am there if you've ever met the Barking Atheist.
you were also in like the military, so I think you have a pretty good advantage.
Well, size
Oh, shit,
doesn't
seriously?
matter at all. Size honestly doesn't matter. Well, I don't take size into account.
Look good.
Or do what?
I fought people bigger than me in one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't you just like use one side of this and the other?
Intellectual debate. Who could kick
I
whose
just-
ass?
I
This
didn't
is
know,
awesome.
wait, I didn't know Beach was in the military, seriously?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's why his name is Beach, as in Omaha Beach, Rockocopter.
Well,
Omaha Beach, Rockocopter.
Like I said, Elizabeth is my new favorite person, like on the internet and
That's
in
why-
the world.
That's why whenever I want to get a call going, if I want Eden to get in here, I make sure to bring Liz with me. Well,
Exactly.
I think she kind of goes with me wherever I go anyway, so fuck.
You're like the only person I feel like hanging around most of the time, lately at least.
So, yeah, wherever I go, like Liz is kind of like my evil counterpart.
I like the fact that Oni's voice, the more pissed he gets, the higher pitched it gets, until it sounds like a cartoon character. It's
that makes
fucking
so
awesome.
White Knight,
That's
doesn't it,
fucking sad. Fuck.
It's not sad, man. It's not sad. You have one of the most interesting voice. Like, this isn't a negative for me. You have one of the most interesting voices that I've like come across online, and it is
Jesus
to
Christ,
me.
I'm like, this one call comes to the other. He's like everywhere.
Dude, I'm in your fucking internet, stealing your phone.
This is so funny. I swear. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
I want to get fucking Brett in a call again someday.
Oh, God.
Wait, Eden, I totally interrupted Eden. What was Eden saying?
I'm saying I want to lick your nipples.
I think everyone wants.
Testicle clamps.
That was funny as hell. I was like, I just left that other call, and like, I thought you were in that call. That's what was so weird about it. I was like, whoa, what? What the
Wait,
fuck?
what call were you in?
But I'm simultaneously here. I'm God, James. I'm everywhere at once.
I left a bunch of calls. Actually, I kind of sad about that.
Masturbate.
No, somebody add me to other calls that were made out of these things, because I'm kind of sad. I'm missing a lot of drama and shit.
Eden, make TJ love me.
You
I
make
know
it
you're
love a
supposed
long time, baby. Long
Make it
time.
happen. I was hitting on him so hard last night on his vlog shooting, and like, he wasn't really reciprocating. I was even be honest, I was like, oh man, I was fapping the night and the thought of you slipped in there. And like, he definitely saw that shit. He definitely saw it. There was like 30 people in the room. He just like, he was responding to everything, and like, that came up. It was like the biggest one because I made, like, I typed out hella shit about Matthew. And it just look, you could tell he was looking at it and he just moved on to the next question.
Alright, TJ is the kind of person that if he's like really horny or some shit, he'll just like he won't come out in public and say shit. He's, believe it or not, he's a very private person when it comes to a lot of his shit. Like, he doesn't care if it gets out or not, but like, he'll message people and just be like, hey, how you doing? You know, so if you get one of those messages.
PM, that's what got left out.
Hey, James. I want to fucking hit on TJ now. I want to fucking do that shit.
Do it. Oh my
I
god.
totally want to fucking do that shit now.
Like, are you actually, James, are you actually
Just
attracted
have
to people?
everybody start randomly hitting on TJ.
Eden, what were you saying?
Well, I was just wondering if James is, like, are you attracted to TJ? Like, is it a legitimate...
I was fat the other night.
It's weird. I'm not really attracted to TJ, but I don't know. Sure. I don't know.
I'll just straight up be real honest about it. Fucking on me for shit. Last night I was jerking off and I like totally had this whole thought in my head about fucking TJ in the ass. Just like right in his big fat body. I swear to God, it's like just holding his head down, just being like, 'cause I know he's like somewhat submissive, and like I'm sure not. I was thinking about riding that ass. I nutted.
Hey, James.
Michael said rubber gloves.
James. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
To answer your question, I'm just straight up. That's the honest God.
No, that's cool, man. I was honestly curious. Like, there's not many people actually admit to being attracted to TJ, and you know,
say, like,
physically.
I look at TJ and I get a hard on.
Well, no, physically, like, yeah, he's a brute of a man. He's a big guy, you know, but
He funded 6'5".
I'm not really
I
attracted
would
to
love to
these
just
things,
have-
but I'm
Well,
just
people are attracted to power, and TJ, regardless of what people think of him, has a lot of power online.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Why do you think
I'm
Onisia has a
attracted
jail-based army?
to submitting power.
Onision could suck my fucking dick. If I see him crossing the road, I'd hit him. I'd fucking
He
hit him.
looks tired, like,
Like, I think it's DM and Cole
My mic muted.
or Power, man.
I think it was.
If you
No,
think-
I don't need power, dude. I will abuse the fuck out of that.
I don't know. I'm the kind of person that wouldn't want power for the simple fact that I would be afraid of abusing it far too much.
I need some power.
Honestly, I think a lot of people just want to abuse you in so many ways.
I would abuse Eden.
I do too, actually. But like James and Eden and Liz all at the same
I don't
time.
think I'd ever abuse power, but I love to abuse the power.
That is a
I don't
sandwich.
want power just because I want the limelight. I prefer subterfuge.
Subterfuge?
She's like assassin.
I can understand.
I would want power, but I'd also want all control of the media.
Crouch.
Never mind about that. Never mind. It hurt nothing.
I get it now. Crowd Demon is Rupert Murdoch.
Proud you. I love you.
Reality show hosted by a bunch of idiots from YouTube.
This Rupert Murdoch, he is nothing. You see, we create the propaganda. We make
You guys
this. We
were
focus on
listening.
this. What's up?
Is my mic on?
It's on, but you're very,
I can
very
hear
low.
what he eats.
We heard
Turn
Stig
your
say
mic
something.
settings up. You gotta go to your mic settings and turn your mic on.
I
Actually,
like that.
all right. Well, one
We're
second.
playing Civilization. I really don't know who else is in the call.
These guys
ID.
getting talked over. So like, go into your mic settings and like turn it up a little bit. So that you guys don't get like talked on so much. Because in this call, everybody gets talked on if they're not really assertive and loud.
Alright, is IG? Does anybody want to add IG to the conversation, to the calls anymore?
Let's say that's right.
'Cause,
I like yelling at him.
I mean, he's just so weepy
I'll
now.
do it.
Is he still weepy and like boring now? Because he's
Speaker volume.
Who is on the airplane?
Michael, is IG better now?
I would say that he's very pissed off at me, and
Can you hear us now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Okay,
What?
that's too loud. Turn it down. Turn it down.
I'm not turning it down.
Oh God.
Check.
Visa, MasterCard,
All right, Michael, what did you
Press. Fuck your check.
Inventor Gorilla doesn't like me now.
Seriously?
Aiding his,
I thought you guys had a love-hate thing going on, but he seriously doesn't like you now?
Well, I'm sure it'll change someday, but I did that whole thing where I e-begged for people to put the first bid on all my things on the MSF charity, and he did one of them. And then a couple days later, I left some criticism as a comment on one of his videos, and he flipped out. He's like, how can you leave, criticizing statements on my video after I helped you out when you were e-begging for those first bids? And I was like, dude, thank you for that, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to criticize things when I see something wrong.
Where somebody can buy these toxic virus. They got 8 hours to live. Ooh.
How strong were your criticisms of this video?
Not really.
I understand if he
It was more him flipping out than...
and if he didn't have one, yeah, I'd be upset too, but damn.
Oh, turn that shit down so those...
Asshole. Shit. See,
Alright.
that's loud and you're pissing everyone off.
Yo, Mike,
Uh-huh.
so like, what did you say exactly?
I just left a comment saying, quit being hard on yourself, quit punking yourself out for like the first minute of his video, and I said that him thinking that everybody else isn't interested in actual facts is is just idiocy, and it's cyclical. He goes into this mode every few months, and we all come down on him for it, and then he gets better, and then he goes back to being that person again. And I pointed out the cycle.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the tamest shit I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
I tried to make it tame, but he fucking flipped out anyway.
That is... Who gets pissed off? Why would you get pissed off about that? It's not...
Yeah, you criticize my videos.
I mean, seriously, that's really fucking childish. That pissed off? Are you sure there's not something more to it than that? Like maybe he's angry at you for other shit?
No, I think there's more to it in that he's got family problems where he's dealing with custody issues, and he's letting that just, you know, affect everything. He's taking it out on everyone else.
He makes Jesus cry. That makes Jesus cry.
Let's check out Bottom again. If you check out the latest Take Club on my channel, I uploaded on my channel Asian because I figured you didn't want to for one reason or another.
You are correct.
But I'm guessing Jesus doesn't cry when you lie.
But I uploaded it up there and fucking in the table of contents, you can see the part where it says Stigma Day. You can check that out if you want. It'll skip ahead to the part where IG's talking about Jesus crying again. We have a whole another rant about him. Yeah, it's on JamesPope after show.
Let me link it to that.
Stig's talking about Jesus crying.
Well, again, no, they already, him and Stigma Day, Stigma Day and IG had an argument about that already in one of the prior hate clubs. In the latest hate club, IG brought it up again, just talking about Stig, but I don't think Stig was there.
What the fuck just happened? Sorry about that. I lost internet service for like no reason. So.
Yo, check this out.
I bet it was the Jews.
It was.
Everyone just go like that video. Go like that
wait.
video.
Alright, what I see is the hate club Brett King. Is that
like the video in the Skype chat.
Oh, crying freaking Jesus.
Yeah, I'm going on. Alright. First HP Lovecraft. Alright. I liked it.
Alright, there we go. Feminism, creationism, video games, back to TJ, the economy, politics, revisiting Jesus' tears. Here we go.
Alright, so as far as Jesus crying, alright, so, I mean, I have no doubt that Jesus is an emo bitch, if he does exist, but the fact that, like, let's get this out of the way and say, okay, for the sake of argument, Jesus exists. How the fuck are you gonna know what makes Jesus sad? Like, I mean, yeah, you can go to scripture and just be like, oh, you know, Jesus wept when this happened, but how do you know he hasn't grown a tougher skin over, I don't know, 2,000 fucking years of being dead?
Why?
Like, how do you know he hasn't just gotten, you know, just fucking fed up with looking down and being like, wow, you people waging war, and you people doing this, and you people doing all kinds of crazy, weird shit. Why are you cutting off the skin of people's penis? I told you that was wrong. I told you not to do that. That's bad. That's bad. Stop chopping off part of people's dicks. Like, stop doing it.
Okay, here's my
You can
question.
grow that shit back now anyway.
Here's my question. Why I thought you such a
Throw that back? Yes, you can.
Therapies or whatever, they're trying to grow
And while weight is balls and a lot of pulling, and that doesn't sound good to me.
Well, no, not just with skin pulling. I know about that, like they showed on Penn and Teller, but they're actually like just a cream that's supposed to grow back, like the nervous tissue.
Your body has like a
I'm
it's called that, or the extracellular matrix, and you should be able to manipulate that. Ironically, they've used that. Well, it's not ironically so. They've used that to regrow like tips of fingers and things, and what they used to manipulate the body to do that was waving up the scar and apply this powdered up stuff on the inside of a pig's bladder. And the guy's finger and fingernail grew back.
I think people just want to jerk off. Well, that's why you want an abortion.
No. No, I view circumcision as a mutilation done against the patient's unconscious will. Like, for instance, you have a child. You have a child.
An unconscious child is okay then.
Wait, what was that?
You said aborting an unconscious child is okay then. Sting going after the abortion point.
So,
Jesus.
right here, it's saying
First and foremost.
I'm an ardent atheist that says that abortion is murder. Yeah, it is. But at least but I'm still for it.
The fundamental difference is, if you're going to allow the child to live, you shouldn't force it to live without a part of its body. That's horrible.
See, that's the stuff that people don't like to say that abortion is murder because it sounds really bad. But if you take it from a little bit more cold of a perspective, I mean, yeah, it's a life that's going to be started, and you're starting the process.
Okay, all right. Can you murder a cat?
I'll be quick.
We murder sperm every day, so.
No, it's not the same. Because if you come on the floor,
No.
that's not the same at all. Because that sperm, if you come onto the floor, if you don't come it out, or if it just stays in your body, does not have the potential to become a kid. Once you've started that process,
I've impregnated my carpet
that
several
process
times.
is begun, and unless you do something to kill it, it is going to become a kid. Now, I don't believe that abortion should be tried as murder. I don't think when you have miscarriages or even purposely miscarriages should be tried as murder. But on a very technical level, yes, you are ending a life. The comparison to cells in the end of our nose and all of these different things like sperm and when you come, when you jack off, it's not murder. That doesn't make sense because you cannot start the process of life beginning. There's a certain point when the egg meets the
process
sperm.
basically involves you impregnating a bunch of cells, and those cells haven't even fully formed yet into an actual life form.
The difference.
I think I have a solution to this.
Whether or not it's fully formed has nothing to do with whether or not it's going to be a life.
It's
going to be a life. Tons of unfully formed cells
alive
throughout the body, but not going to be none of the unfully formed cells in my body right now. None of the shut the fuck up. None of the unformed cells in my body right now are going to grow into a baby. None of them are going to grow eyes or a heart or a mind or the ability to tell the difference between right and wrong or to love or be loved. None of the cells in my body are going to do that right now. And this fucking argument that it's you know, it is exactly what it is, but we just need to accept it because we murder people all over the world every day.
Hold the fuck up.
Alright, hold on.
Now you're getting
James, hold on. Let you talk. Let you talk.
Yeah, sperm can't kill you, but it can convince you.
Realize? First, you just agreed with IG. So that's something. And second,
logical fallacy eating. That's a logical fallacy.
Second.
This whole thing's a logical fallacy. It's a red herring. We were talking about circumcision.
yeah. But you know what? I'm willing to go down the road on this because calling abortion murder is fucking disingenuous. It is scientifically inaccurate, and it is stupid. Okay? It is straight up fucking stupid.
Those are all ad hominems. So how about
Those are not ad hominems.
Yes, they are ad hominems. And saying that someone's position on something is just stupid is, yes, it is an ad hominem.
Make a non-ad hominem. Okay? I'm looking up the definition of stupid right now so that I can put this out there. Stupid. Definition.
The definition of murder and abortions and babies and, you know, like, I understand that the zygote, and it can't feel pain. I definitely see the difference between abortion being done before the part where it can feel pain and that being a significant
No, not
difference.
can feel pain. Alright, I need to ask you a question. Is killing a tadpole murder?
Yes.
Okay. Is killing a cell murder?
Depends on what kind of cell means. A cell's not sentient, so no.
No. Listen. There are certain factors within the brain, okay, that give us consciousness. Alright? There are certain factors within an animal's... Let me finish. There are certain factors within an animal's brain which makes it conscious. You go far enough down, and you get simple instinctual actions, much like...
I think what you're getting wrong with what I'm saying about abortion being murder... Hold on, I just need to address this. I think murder is also necessary. I don't take the word murder and also just apply all of these negative conceptions onto it. Like abortion is murder, therefore it's bad. I don't think
The
that.
reason I'm getting so passionate on this right now is because what you are saying is fucking dangerous. It is a dangerous viewpoint to hold. Because if you have said
my YouTube channel, even I know the difference between saying that abortion is murder to a bunch of crazy Christians who might go out and shoot an abortion doctor in the head. You do not need to moderate this conversation. Alright? You do not need to moderate this goddamn conversation. Now I know the difference between fucking, going on to YouTube and saying abortion is murder to a bunch of people who are not fucking intelligent and might go out and kill an abortion doctor. I know the difference between that. I'm not an idiot. But between us logical people here who, can recognize the difference between certain things and say, like, this is when someone is going to lay. I feel like I can say that to you guys. Of course, I'm not going to start preaching about how I think abortion is murder, so on and so forth, this, that, and the other thing. But yes, It is ending a life that was going to start.
In the womb, when does it become a baby, James?
It becomes a baby when from 9 months from when the cells join in a way that we know that from 9 months from then it's going to become a baby. That's
so from conception. You're saying from conception.
What I'm saying. It's like you just want to be angry about this. I've already gone on to say that I wouldn't say this. I already know the implications of it saying abortion is murder. I know that I wouldn't say that in public, so on and so forth. Between you and I, you're really going to sit here and say that it's not ending a life? It is ending a life. Just technically.
Even though the
like you said, you're not fucking 99%.
By the beat, but it does yawn about 11 weeks, indicates a gap in breath.
Alright, listen for 1 second.
I don't know about that.
What you're saying is if, by your exact definition, I'm still talking to James on this. With your exact definition, that means from the second I stick my dick into a female of my species that can have my child, from the second I walk to her, and decide to do this, that is...
If I plug your brains out, can you stick your dick in a girl and right when you come?
I can be specific. I'm not talking circles. I can say very specifically what I'm saying. I'm saying when the semen meets the egg and they coagulate in whatever. I'm not knowledgeable in biology, so I can't give you all the specific terms. And the semen is biologically attached to the egg and then forming a human. Once that process is begun, that's a baby. It's going to be a baby unless you do something to stop it. And natural issues that the woman has with her body, miscarriage, so on and so forth, I'm not counting those. That's an act of God, using the word very loosely. An act of nature, I guess, is the more easy way to say it. But aside from that, it's you have either manslaughter or kill. I would never say that to a woman that would have an abortion and be like, you're a murderer. You know what I mean? I'm just saying from a very technical standpoint, I don't like it when people say Obama. There was something he said a while back that I thought it was disingenuous, and I was like, I don't think that's a good argument for abortion, because the way I'm taking it, the way I'm saying all this, I am arguing for abortion. Don't forget that. I'm not arguing against it. I'm saying that killing is a necessary part of our society, and we shouldn't look at it with such a fucking, scope where it's like, this is evil, and this is evil, and this is evil. No, we're overpopulating the fucking earth. People should take a little bit more consideration of who they pump out of their vagina on a day-to-day basis, and stop trying to take it with all this moral ambiguity and be like, no, the moral thing to do is to end some lives. Because the lives that we have are not being fucking...
So it is murdering. Yes?
So I'm not arguing
James, scientifically, everything from an amoeba to a fucking single-celled organism to bacteria and things along those lines, they are alive. Okay, they're alive. Now, keep in mind, if you were to disperse, if you are to disperse what the coagulated cells in a woman's body, that doesn't end any life. It doesn't end anything, because those are just no longer adhering to each other. They're still alive. They have just lost the potential to become and evolve into another life form. You are not killing anything. What you are doing is you are disassembling cells. No, let me finish on this. Because what you're doing is you're just disassembling cells and disallowing them the potential to become something else. Now, once they become that something else, that has then become a life form. Now, before that, they weren't a specific life form. They had the potential to become a life form, and they were all their own individual life forms, adhering in the process of fucking evolution, evolving, becoming biologically and chemically something else. But while they were in that state, they were simply in the process moving forward. So scientifically, you are not killing a fucking baby because it is not a baby. It is a collection of other cells that live in their own little ways, okay, as their own individual entities.
Okay, alright, that's not true.
Excuse me?
Is it logical cells out of the vagina and you throw them away? I don't know what you're talking about. These cells being disassembled and made to live again and so on and so forth. I don't know what kind of abortion you're talking about.
They are not dead cells.
The abortions where the woman will emit those cells, and then those cells are done away with and not part of the body anymore. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that's what it is. Like, the cells aren't then redistributed to other parts of the body and the fetus is then, like, absorbed back into the woman. No, she pushes it out. So what are you talking about? That's not what it said.
Does anybody here have a background in science that will back me up?
I mean, I know this.
Yes,
I'm
studying biology.
It's really debated. How do abortions work? They push the cells out.
See, I think you're both right, essentially, but despite what I just said, I'd try to look at this from a philosophical point of view, because we have to define what is a human and what is a baby. Now, I would personally say that a human being is someone with conscience measurable by the 5 big traits of personality. And because a fertilized egg, a zygote, and not even a baby, because a baby doesn't even have a conscience, proper working conscience till a few years on, could be classed in that sense as a human. And as a result, I don't consider it abortion, murder on the same level as murdering a fully developed human being who has dependents, friends, conscience, rational thoughts. Well, so I don't really see it in the same. There's another thing.
I'm 100% with you on that. I just want to say that. But keep going.
Yeah. Well, no one here is arguing against abortion, but I was going to say that in a situation where abortion was illegal, you would essentially be using the state to force a person to grow inside, to parasite essentially, off another person against their will, which is just horribly wrong. Even if it is a natural process, we as human beings are programmed to rise above nature, to become more than what we were intended to be.
People to misuse the abortion clinic. Like,
Absolutely.
But no, it's not about misusing it.
Well, I can be knocked up any time. Like, I think we can
Wow, did you really just say that abortion is an easy and accessible fucking thing?
No, I disagree.
Not you, IG.
That was a horrible thing.
She's not even in the call.
That was Steve who said that.
Yeah.
Sting. Okay, sorry.
No, I didn't say that.
If there's
No, I didn't say that. Do you think I said that?
No, I didn't think you said that.
Oh, no, I definitely don't. I mean, don't let my opinions or like what I'm saying here just like lose sight of the fact that I'm for it. I know it's a terrible thing that women have to go through. No one chooses it. It's an easy way out. I mean, some women are, you hear the occasional fucking 1 in a million story shared by Fox News, like a girl addicted to abortion or something like that, but that's not as common as it's made to seem.
Well, Stig obviously thinks that it's rampant.
Kind of like
No, it's extremely painful. It's extremely painful. That's just the goddamn truth. If you don't know anyone who's had abortion, you should. It is not fun for them.
If I may, I'd like to follow up James's Nazi eugenics thought process here and just say that perhaps mothers who realize that their babies have the possibility of having like 1% body fat and they'll have like 6-pack abs, they're going to be maladapted for survival.
Remember, God blood doesn't mean the conversation ends. It just means that at some point it will happen.
Oh, God. I have another one.
Anyway.
Okay, can we go with the...
I was trying to derail this as hard as I can.
Fucking Michael talk. You never know who
Oh,
talk
sorry.
at all, man.
I finished. He talked over me, but I finished.
Well, in that case, I was going to say, because just moving back quickly onto the whole abortion thing, those cells are still dependent, which form the fertilized egg, which you come from, form the zygote. They still do not have proper respiration. They rely on transport proteins taking in minerals and stuff from the blood, which is being distributed by the what do you call it? The
Umbilical
is it the
cord.
placenta? Yeah, the umbilical cord. So there's a system in between to keep the baby's blood and whatnot separate from the mother. Otherwise, the mother would immune systems are
I read online
cells and T's would kill it instantly. But it's essentially relying off the mother, the host body, if you like, their nutrients and oxygen, etc., being transported to that baby. Now, wouldn't you define a human as a totally independent life?
No, yeah, I totally agree that a zygote or whatever, in the womb is not a human to a certain degree, at least until it can't feel pain or it's not aware of itself. Let me, just say one thing. The reason that I kind of formed this opinion a while ago has very much to do with what I pursue a lot on the internet, which is I like for our side to argue our positions better. That's all this comes from. And I feel like when people like Obama, in support of abortion, say things like equate the cells forming in the woman's womb to the cells on his nose, which he did in the speech at some point. It's just the same as the cells being flaked off the nose or whatever. I don't think that's a good argument for our side. I think it lends credibility to people on the pro-life side who want to say that we're invalidating the life. I think if we do acknowledge to a degree that we are killing, but that it is necessary on a larger scale, and that it is necessary in allowing people to choose what they want to do with their own body, and that it's not killing a human, like as Crowd has pointed out, in the same way that killing like an adult human being would be. It's not the same as holding a gun up to somebody's head. It's not the same as that.
James, that's a really terrible argument. That is, because basically what you're saying is some murder is good, and some murder is better than other murder.
I think it's more honest. I think it's more honest. Is it not more honest? Is it not more honest?
There's a difference between what people even here don't
There's
hear.
gotta be a better way to phrase it.
Even people here don't hear. But there's dispute amongst everyone here about whether or not your argument is correct. And two, it just sounds really fucking bad.
I mean, where does the dispute lie? I mean, I don't think there's as much dispute. I think people are misinterpreting what I'm saying, and that's where this dispute is arising.
All right, then I'm gonna give him that and say that it could be a misunderstanding. But beyond that point, what you're saying sounds really bad. Fucking Hitler. I mean,
it does sound really bad. I can realize as I'm talking that it sounds really bad.
It sounds really bad for you, James. I mean,
You're saying, okay, the cellular deconstruction is not the way we want to go about it. Let's just straight up call it murder. That would be better PR.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying that I'm not saying cellular deconstruction is wrong and we should call it murder. I'm saying that equating it to the skin cells on your nose is wrong, which it is. It is factually
incorrect. No, it's not, James, because if we're to be scientifically accurate with this and intellectually fucking honest about the entire process, skin cells from your fucking nose are essentially the same fucking thing, on the same wavelength and level as what is originally joined, and then through that process in varying stages, it gains more human characteristics. No one is pro-abortion.
What you're saying right now would be to argue against somebody who thinks that I'm saying, hold on, let me fucking finish. I understand what you're saying. I don't disagree is what I'm saying. I don't disagree is what I'm getting at.
James is pro-abortion.
That's why I'm pro-abort. That's why I'm pro-choice. That's why I am. I'm not against.
No, you just said that we're overpopulated. You're pro-abortion.
Pro-baby murder.
Jesus Christ. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Does anyone want me to explain that?
Essentially what you're saying, James.
Does somebody want me to briefly explain that reverse circumcision thing?
One second.
No, it's not essentially what I'm saying. Don't say that. It's not essentially what I'm saying at all. I'm saying these two things are not equivalent, and I'm also pro-choice. I'm saying that I think this is a more way of arguing for the pro-choice. I'm not saying that I'm for baby murder. Extrapolated to say I'm for baby murder. I haven't said anything like that. Again, I've said it's necessary abortion because we should be able to choose, what we want to have live in our own body. I know I said a little earlier back that we're overpopulated and so on and so forth, but that's not something I would ever use in a main argument against abortion. It is somewhat true, but it's not anything.
Sure, babe, whatever you want.
What?
On your phone. Sure, babe, whatever you want. It's you. It's your choice.
One second. Demon's going to explain the reverse circumcision thing because, believe it or not, it actually does have a direct fucking correlation to what we're talking about right now.
Basically, your body has a naturally occurring extracellular matrix. It's like a blueprint. It's still there when you cut something off. Now, you can see it in things like geckos, lizards, they can grow back a tail, but it doesn't work in humans because naturally, in theory, over time, our bodies suppress this extracellular matrix so it can have a stronger immune system. But in creatures that do have it, it effectively suppresses the inflammation process and the scarring tissue forming, so the body can repair the cells that have been damaged or lost. Now, the idea is if you can manipulate that in a human being, and it's been done before, you can theoretically regrow the chopped off bit of your dick. So, you know, this isn't like stretching new skin, it's the nervous tissue, the frenulum, everything.
Like, what about abortions and skins again?
Well, no, it's correct.
How fast those dicks foreskin?
Yeah, the corrective therapy we're talking about, it's not like the stuff in Penn and Teller. It's actually really cool. It's like they're actually repairing the damage done or whatever.
Exactly.
How are they doing that, though? With a cream?
Well, it's hard to explain really. From what I know, the experiments that have done it first, they use something that's very present in like the inside of a pig's bladder or something, ironically. This grinded down powder. I can't remember the name of this stuff, to be honest.
Oh, pigs are
I can link to it when I find it. Actually, I'll post this little picture that shows a finger being regrown with it. Now, think about it, a finger contains all sorts of stuff, doesn't it? It's got bones, you'd need to regrow the piece of the bone and the cartilage. The foreskin's just skin and nerves, so in theory it should be a lot easier.
Yeah.
In terms of the future, this technology, which really needs more funding to put into it, unlocks so much potential. We could be fucking immortal if this technology is mastered. If we have like our heart fuck up, we could just grow a new one and shove it in there, and use the same technology to cover up any scars.
Until James's extermination program kicks in and starts killing off all the people.
You see why you think that's exactly why.
I said nothing of the like. I said nothing of the like. I said we're overpopulate one time, everyone's like,
I'll tell you fucking why. It's because you said sometimes we need to kill people.
oh my god.
That's what you fucking
It's
said.
the truth. Some
That would be kind of
need,
bull
they're in a
crap.
position where they don't need, are not able to have a kid, they don't want to have a kid, and they need to, you know, so they can't afford it, so on and so forth. That does happen. That's not, I need, like, on a mass scale, like, we need to get rid of all these babies. Like, that's not what I was trying to say.
People jump too, though. And they're a lot of association.
Well, you know what? I thought I could expect a little bit more talking to all my fucking atheist, skeptical friends online and not talking to a bunch of Koreans. Like,
You, as well as much as anyone here knows, how important language in conversation is. You know how important words are. And for me, big words, ways for audience.
Oh, Sammy's on.
Fred,
Hello.
not really serious. I'm not.
You tell us about your email in a sec. Or comments from Satan.
I know what you're trying to say, but you know how things come off the other people.
Yes, I know. I hear you. I agree.
I mean, shit. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm not, but yeah, I do want. I don't think we need mass baby killers.
Answer this for me. Answer this for me. If I were to take, like, let's say that I grow pot, alright? Let's say that I have a pot seed, alright? Now, if I were to take that pot seed, and I were to smash it with a hammer, would that be murder?
You didn't have it touch it.
By your logic, it wouldn't be.
No, that's it was a argument. I mean, no.
It's a seed.
Like humans. Hold on. Yes, it would be murder, but not equivalent to that a murder of a human, like Crowd Demon said before. I mean, you just want to, like, you just keep writing off that point, Eden. I mean, you can just say that over and over again, but you have not acknowledged that as whatsoever the fact.
What have I not acknowledged?
I do think it's murder, but I do see murder occurring on different levels. Like Crowd Demon stated, yes, it is the ending of life, but it's not equivalent to, say, putting a gun up to a human being.
You have taken up the redefinition clause of variable ask. You do realize that, right?
No, I haven't, Eden. other YouTubers and trying to make it
No,
sound
I'm not trying to fucking tear you down.
It is
I'm
the ending of a
making
life in a certain way. That's all I'm saying. You're trying to extrapolate and make it sound like I'm saying all this crazy shit, but I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm saying that the ending of this process is the ending of a life. It's not a murder of a human being. I do think it's acceptable on these different levels. I think everyone else can see that I'm speaking very rationally, and you're just trying to exaggerate what I'm saying, and that's not what I'm saying.
All right, take a look at the link because I think everyone can appreciate this.
If I might do Eden's argument a little bit better than him, if there was somebody who had sextuplets and they realized that they didn't have enough breast milk or food in their house or fake breast milk to feed the smallest, the runt of their litter of 6 kids, would it be wrong for them to take that 6th one and throw it out in the wilderness? Because dogs do that.
I think if there was a way of reporting it beforehand, that would be good.
Dogs naturally will take the runt and leave it out in the wilderness and let it die of exposure because they have this sense that they can't have enough breast milk to feed their entire litter.
I wouldn't accept it.
Maybe we should just like grind them up into like food.
It'd be a hard place to judge. I mean, honestly, say if you did encounter some wild woman who lived out in the woods and fucking like didn't have any food or anything like that, would we send her to jail for killing one of her kids to save the other 5? That would be a legitimate question. I'd say no, personally. But I mean, that's like, I think that's a little bit more broad question than just to throw me for it. Now.
Something that I was saying before, and something I think crowd can back me up on with this, is when you do abort a fetus, I mean, I'm going to take the Doc Manhattan stance on this, alright, if anybody's familiar with Watchmen.
Oh my god.
Well, listen, I'm not talking movie.
Actually, I never saw Watchmen, but I was going to.
Matter remains matter, correct? Yes, regardless of what form it's in. Now,
yes.
Now, in aborted cells that have been deconstructed and whatnot, they essentially go on and reform other things, correct?
They break down. The cells do not deconstruct from each other. They break down into minerals, nutrients, etc. Biomass, if you like. And yes, they could be absorbed into something else.
Now, how far removed are those from what they were originally? Not too far, correct?
Considerably far.
Considerably far, really.
When you look at the context, it's
okay.
It really depends on the context.
We're talking about abortion.
We are talking about abortion.
Either way, I mean,
I think that would be the same as
let me just make it clear. In a public
if I had some kind of ray gun that turned someone into pure biomass, that would be considered more or less, you would see a big difference, wouldn't you? So it would essentially be the same, because we're talking about basically organic compounds and human DNA, etc. But so no, I don't really see how that works. But that's something that do go on.
Alright. Now, much like many of the calls that we've been in here, I see inherent issues with shit, and I do need to find a way to specifically write them down, because the stances of such
How about this?
are aggravating.
How about that? Abortion is not murder, but it is the ending of the
Or would you like?
There you go! That's a fine stance.
I understand the what's the word I'm looking for? The negative connotations that come with the word murder, and that's why I wouldn't, and as I previously stated, ever come out in a video or anything like that and say abortion is murder, because I know how hurtful that would be to people who have gone through the horrible process of having to have an abortion. And I understand that. I would never do. But between us here, I was speaking callously, and I used the word murder to mean killing, to mean the ending of a life. You know, I don't necessarily, I don't think it's murder in the same way as, you know, as if IG went and killed Stigma Dane. You know, I don't think it's murder like that.
I wouldn't take that very offensively if he did that.
I think, James, are you basically, what I see, you're trying to get at is you just want us to be more direct and what we say.
The main thing I don't like is when I feel like it lends a little bit of credibility to the conservative right when I see people comparing abortion to things that I don't think it's equivalent to. It's a very serious thing. And it should be treated as a very serious thing. It should never be treated as the skin, I understand the equivalencies, but it's like it's a process of a life that somebody has to go and end. And when we say it's a it makes it seem more casual.
It makes it seem more casual.
It's never taken as casual, James. I know.
No, I know
that
we
have
don't take it as casual, but I'm talking about convincing the other side. They think we take it as casual, and we compare it to just sell. It's just sell. It's just sell. When we say that.
So literally, the solution to that is saying, no, we're not casual about this shit. We know it's murder.
Yes, we know, and we don't like that it's murder, but it's necessary of our society. I mean, not murder, though.
It's baby killing.
In a political debate, we would say we know it's murder.
Baby killing.
Than ending a life. Yeah, we should say that. We know that it's ending a process of life. I think a lot of people don't admit that on our side. A lot of people don't really admit.
Liz, I am totally gonna buy some of this shit for you here.
And that's all. I think a lot of people don't admit that it's the ending of the would-be life. I think a lot of people like to just say it's not. It's just something else. It's something else in another dimension, and that's why it's okay. They disregard the fact that it is the end of the would-be life, and I think it would lend more credibility to us if we just acknowledge that.
All right, James, have you done any research on abortion?
Yeah, I've had a very personal encounter situation.
Well, no, not personal encounters. I'm talking about actual.
Search of when this shit went down and everything. You get educated when you go through this kind of thing.
Alright, well, what I'm saying is, here's my challenge to you. Look up the actual process from conception straight through the stages of pregnancy. And you tell me when A, that becomes a child, and B, when that becomes anything more than what is essentially goo.
I never said that. I never equated the thing in the I never said that. This is what you do. You just keep arguing shit that I never said that it's a child. I never said that it's equivalent to me or you or a human being. I've actually said the contrary numerous times. I've said over and over again that it's not equivalent to a human being. I don't know why you can't hear that. Has anyone else heard me say that? Am I just speaking to the fucking wall? Has anyone else heard me say it over and over again?
Oh wait, like I said, that is not what James is trying to say. It just comes across that way because of how I really think you are you're wording it really horribly, but I don't think that's what you're saying.
The word murder has so much weight to it. If you're to say you murdered something, when someone says, regardless of what you murder, okay, let's say that someone says you murdered this, or this was an act of murder.
You murdered this marijuana seed. It still sounds bad.
Then
right?
It sounds...
It's a generalisation of the word murder, isn't it? But that's okay if you're consistent. Because,
Alright, so how about that? I will admit to
your stomach acid is killing
using the word murder. How about that? Will that make this better?
James murdered that rap song.
I more or less agree with you, James.
The problem is though that the concept of murder is still attached to the process itself.
And you guys have to understand something too. I take linguistics and I take sociology and psychology of the entire, regardless of some people find psychology as a soft science, that's fine. I'll even drop that to the wayside, but sociology isn't. Sociology is a vast network of interactions which are observable and testable. And when you add linguistics and the way people understand each other through body language and verbal communication, if you look at murder, the actual definition, just off the top of my head, only one of those would fit the way it's being used in that concept, and that is to put an end to / destroy. Even destroy in that manner doesn't work out because you are not destroying anything. You're allowing it to revert. You're allowing it to start again or begin. Well, no, that's not debatable. That's actually...
This difference to an abortion to when you use the RU86 pill, you end up pushing that out of your vagina at the end of the situation. I'm not sure the RU86 pill, but I know from my personal experience with abortion that there was something there.
Did you just say personal experience with abortion?
Yeah.
James, you don't have a mangina.
Abortion, James.
Do you have a uterus?
I've been there present. It's a terrible thing. And I like it's
James, you were stepping over yourself at this point.
Can we have a new subject?
You are. You kind of are. I mean, I'm just saying, it's like.
What do you know? What do you
Like, what I'm trying to say is like.
Point being that I know that something comes out in the cell. They use them in fucking. I mean, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, they use them in abortion ads all the time. The little fucking tiny baby fetus, like whatnot. I mean, that's not all the things, but that is some. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about here, is that it's not always just absorbed back into the body. I'm not sure if it ever is, but I'll take your word for it. But I'm not in all abortions, certainly.
I'm not saying it's absorbed back. All right.
Yeah, I'm misunderstanding you or something.
All right. Where I was going before, though, with as far as the definitions lie and the linguistics of the matter, only 1 out of 5 possible meanings or uses for the word murder in any logical sense even hints at the fact that to end something is a good definition of that, and that also means to destroy.
I agree that my use of the word murder was wrong. Wrong word. I'll totally own up to that.
There you go. Like, I mean, you can say it's an end to the possibility of life. Nobody's debating that. But then you get back to something that you were vehemently against before, which was equating it to cells dying, because essentially, scientifically, cells dying, cells being changed into something else, cells being reconstituted or broken apart.
I think you touched on something more accurately of an issue. It's the word possibility. It's like, yeah, it's a possibility, but it's like a 99% possibility a lot of the time when we're talking about abortions that are actually...
No. I'm talking about if it's left, okay? The possibility of life, meaning that you have the ability to push it onto another track and not allow it to become that form of life, okay? And you and I both agree that sometimes that's the best course of action. You know, someone can't pay for a child. If that child's going to have a horrible life, that child's going to be genetically deformed or something along those lines. We both agree on this, that these are good reasons, you know?
Yeah.
But, to call them
I think James doesn't agree with the one thing. What were you about to say, James?
No, that's not a huge issue. I don't really know. I just keep going, please. No, I don't disagree. Keep going.
Right. But, you know, and I'm not being ham-handed with this. I'm just saying that the word murder, and
you're right on that.
Yeah. You know, I mean, but...
No, I totally concede to that point.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to say it's to put an end to the pathway to becoming human, if you want to orchestrate it in a different manner.
That is very true. And I realize the necessity of saying things like that in terms of the medical community. You know, and like in terms of dealing with women who might actually have an abortion, or the way doctors should speak to them, or the way counselors should speak to them, so on and so forth. But when we're debating with like passion,
hey, can you please just listen for a moment?
No. He's going through this. You know, it's all right. I remember where I am.
Jesus Christ. Fucking point being is that I think that when we work it in such elaborate ways, that it makes them think that we are trying to cover it up. I guess, I don't know. You know what? The more I argue this, the more kind of you're winning me over to your side. So let that be known. I'm not as much to my position as I was at the beginning of this conversation.
Well, the thing is, when science doesn't speak to emotional value, okay? Like when someone's to say, you know, this is murder, or if someone were to say, you know, this is an end to the possibility of life or something, even that kind of verbiage and that kind of way of talking is not necessarily, like, I mean, it's just not used in science, because when science says, like, all right, listen, this is the makeup of these cells, this is how they are combined, this is how they go together, you know, they link like puzzle pieces in this manner, and they're standing aside in this manner over here doing this. You know, they talk about the placement of cells, how they react to each other. They have no say. You know, science has no say in how people perceive things. When doctors, you know, people who perform, you know, abortions and things along those lines, come out and say, like, listen, this service is available or something, the only thing they'll say to an emotional impact, for the most part, is, you know, you owe it to yourself to, you know, to think about this through. You know, you should examine all the possibilities with this. You know, you should be honest to yourself about, you know, whatever. Never is it said, this is a good thing, or this is the solution for you. And never is it said, you know, this is not murder, or this is murder. It makes no claims as far as verbiage. It just makes a claim as to, you know, it is physically dangerous if you conceive in this manner. Or it is recommended if you are of this physical makeup, or at this point within, you know, within the statistics of this type of community or something. And they won't even go that far in some cases. Like, do you see what I'm saying with this?
I do. There's something serious.
Alright, what was Stigma Day trying to say? Stig, what were you trying to say?
I was just trying to get James to listen to Eden for a few minutes, you know, because he kept hearing him, you know, they just rant back and forth. And I was like, man, this is irritating.
Well, I mean, I guess...
Better now, Stigma Day?
Yeah, thank you. I just really, man, everything, it sounds like a rodeo announcer in the background.
I mean, James is trying to get his
funny
point
for you
across.
to be complaining about people yelling back and forth.
Well, I'm just saying, man, God, give you like a few minutes to talk.
Hidden in irony.
Seriously, though, because James was trying to get his point out, so, you know, it took him a while.
We have another subject
Yeah, but
now.
Eden couldn't even give his entire point, you know, just...
No, I mean, there are a lot of subdivides and branches.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of subdivides and branches that we could go down and whatnot. The only thing I was attempting to do with any of this was not be ham-handed, not completely dismiss somebody's point, but truly make somebody else look at another side of this in order to make a more educated decision and be able to, at least, even if James goes back to his previous viewpoint on this at some point, at least it will have been from another adopted viewpoint that he could look at honestly. You know, I never try to force my beliefs or my viewpoints on anyone else. I just want them to truly consider exactly, you know, I suppose the pantheistic way to put it would be the spirit or the soul of another point of view, you know, or the general consensus of that point of view.
Hey, you probably have more experience with this than I do. I'm kind of in a horrible situation right now. I've been trying to contact this guy's family, who's told me that he wants to kill himself.
Oh, okay.
He's on Facebook, and I barely know him, and I'm debating if I should call 911. I don't really know what I'd say.
Do you know what city he lives in?
Alright, do you know his... Alright, when did you get information about this?
Like, last night he started gisting towards it. He made it kind of clear a message that I received this morning. I wrote all his family as soon as I wrote everyone who had the same location as him and his friends list. I sent like a mass message out.
Okay, can you PM me this guy's name in case I know him?
Yeah, Adam Smith. Adam Smith, and he has a picture of a burning phoenix in his profile.
What you need to do is you need to
I made a
notify...
Facebook post about it. I don't know what else. I'm like...
You need to call the police in his area or some kind of medical professionals in his area and let them know that this is happening. Because if someone puts a cry for help out there publicly and then you can't get a hold of them, you need to do that.
He did write me back, but now he's not writing me back, and that's what I'm a little
I think he said you need a Ouija board or something.
That was last, but he talked to me after that last night. And then he hasn't written me back since. He lived in Spokane, Washington. What should I look for? This is emergency services?
Yes, emergency services in Spokane, Washington. Say, listen, I have reason to believe that someone might be contemplating suicide. And because of these reasons.
Michael, what were you about to say? Were you about to say something, Michael?
Same things.
I mean, in my opinion, if someone really wants to commit suicide, that's their own business. But...
I don't think he's mentally stable.
Yeah, but if someone's not mentally stable enough to contemplate the end in that fashion, then they should be given at least the mental stability to make that choice on even footing. Like, for instance, if I'm completely bored with life and I'm completely sane and I want to jump off a building, please don't stop me.
A lot of trouble finding his number. I'm on Google. I've got Spokane, Washington, emergency suicide services typed in.
Alright, you don't want to do that. Spokane, Washington, emergency services.
That's what I
don't want to put in suicide. Here we go. Emergency Medical Services, Spokane, Washington. Here's your phone number. 509-625-6290. Now this is Spokane Falls Boulevard, Spokane, Washington. All right, and this is the EMS and Trauma Care Council, and what they can do is they can give you information on where in the area you should call.
But what was that number again?
It is 509-625-66290. All right, and what this organization does, the mission statement is to assure the integration of coordination and organization of the EMS system in Spokane County to provide optimal pre-hospital care, meaning that they would be more apt to help you find. They have a long calling list. The trick is when you can't find a number or something like that, find someone who knows or who most likely has put themselves in positions to know the numbers. Now, if you can't get that, Department of Emergency Management, I'm loading right now for you, if it'll fucking load, Jesus Christ. And Emergency Services in Spokane, Washington from the Yellow Book. Alright, now I also have medical centers. Do you know close to the area that he lives in Spokane?
I see East Valley High School.
Yeah.
It's around there.
Alright, East Valley High School, so that would be next to... One second. Alright, can you guys look up West 5th Avenue through Google Maps in correlation to his address? Just type in, or not address, but to his general area. I just want to see how many miles they are from within response time.
What?
And
what to where?
Alright,
This West Avenue?
No, West 5th Avenue, or W 5th Ave.
To where?
To where is the closest thing you know that's around?
I'm going to try the high school.
Alright. The high school is close and we can kind of push in a response time.
High school's about 16 miles away.
Alright, I'm going to go there and try to call this number.
James,
Right,
you fucked up the hate
57
club.
that.
I was gonna tear into you, James, but you go do what you gotta do, alright?
Yeah.
Well,
Do what you gotta do, and if I get another number, I will put it directly into the Skype call, okay? Alright, so I'm gonna need you guys, the same correlation to the high school. I need you guys to check East 57th Ave and North Colton Street and see which one is